Good morning from the sleep-deprived zombie this morning, guys. What's going on? Let's see, 19th of July, 2021, Monday. Time index right now, I'm going to be looking at the damn thing. It's about 3 after 3 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. We're already at them thunderstorms coming through the Antelope Valley. I missed all the damn fun since I slept through it. Damn, it would have been something I care about. But the storm I'm getting myself into is either something of my own nature or someone else's making at this point. So I have to send this one out to the people left and right. And the links and whatever I have to. People are still bitching and griping about social media and their limitations and their freedoms, and I've done videos about this damn thing left and right. So if you're seeing this on YouTube, under contractual agreements regarding Google and YouTube, I am required to ask you to hit the like button and also hit the subscription button. Therefore, you will be able to understand more lunacy from a lunatic this early in the morning and asking yourself why you did this in the first place. I keep asking myself the same damn question. I'm not even live awake yet. Crap. So enough of that one. Also, the disclaimer. Oh, God, I have to put this damn thing out, don't I? I am not a guru of anything. I don't have any letters after my name. I am not an expert in anything. I'm just a guy who's lived through a hell of a lot of life, read a lot of books, going through college even at a late age, and learning that the world is a hell of a lot larger, stranger, and weirder. And yes, you are seeing flies in front of your face. I got infestations here, what can I say? That's my disclaimer, I'm sticking to it. Deal with it. On with the show. Constitution. Okay, pull the covers over your eyes and go back to sleep then. I'm seeing too many posts coming from people on social media left and right. I'm also seeing the idiots, I'll say that again, in their address to the news media organizations, and the researchers, because they don't do their damn homework, I swear. Every time they keep coming online and saying that they understand the Constitution. Do they understand the Constitution? They hired legal representations coming on over there who act like they know more than whatever everyone else is talking about, but they don't say what they're supposed to be saying. They just give it a damn legal gobbledygook. And yes, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an academic, I'm still going through a community college course. I've taken political sciences, and I'm still not sure whether or not to still go through liberal arts degree, or possible legal or political science, or maybe all three, if it's possible. And if it is possible, that's a lot of time to do some studying about this stuff, I'll tell you. Because this is pissing me off, and people get this information wrong. In my own humble opinion, I know. We all have our own humble opinions. Case in point, freedom of speech. Now we've got regular visitations from politicians spreading the quote-unquote big lie in their own version of hell. Their own version of the Jedi mind trick on people. And then secondly, you got the social media being almost put away entirely into the background again. But not really, because it's still involving the First Amendment rights. How does it work? The First Amendment, you happen to read this damn thing. I mean, nobody reads this thing anymore. You have to go to legal scholars and Google the thing up left and right. And then me, I go get the damn thing up. I got my little Constitution book buried in a bag around here somewhere behind this stuff. Well, if you notice the videos I've been doing, you notice I got a bag of crap over here, so what the hell is that? Let's see. Okay, so we're going to be saying this, not simply, but just as is. If I can just get in there, there we go. I'm always going to the Cornell education system, to the legal section, Cornell Law School. I like these guys. Okay. What it says, the First Amendment. Here we go, boys and girls. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, comma, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, semicolon, or abridging the freedom of speech, comma, or of the press, comma, semicolon, or the right of the people peacefully to assemble, comma, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Goes over your head. Went over my head. Basically, the government recognizes you got a freedom of religion, but they're not forcing religion down people's throats. We don't have a nationalized religion. That's probably another video right there. I may have to do this one, I don't know. See how this discussion goes. And we have the freedom of press, which means the press are free from government reprisal or recrimination if they are going after their press, if they're going after the government, which is your local municipality all the way up to the federal guys. Okay? But it doesn't mean that if you're going to be going against another individual at this point over here, you're going to be open season at this point. It's a libel suit right there. And the people have the right to peaceably assemble. Well, yeah, if you're going to be protesting against the government on government property or actually in public property, you have the right to do so. However, the municipalities control how and where and when. People forget about this damn thing all the time. I swear. They don't do their own work. Growing up as a kid, I'd watch people talking about the law all the time. Went over their head. There was a court case happening in the 70s. I didn't even realize what the hell was going on until they made it into a TV movie back in the 80s, in the early 80s, I think. And they were talking about a town in Illinois, Skokie, Illinois. A nice, quiet town, you think? Giving these schmucks a bit of a credence here. American Nazi Party of North America came in. And they wanted to express their outright disgust and dismay against the religion and the people because they're idiots. That's a libelous statement, but they're idiots regardless. They wanted to go through the town to this Jewish community in this section of Skokie and terrorize the crap out of them. And if you guys already caught the show a few times in the past, you know where this is leading up to. The local courts ruled against the American Nazi Party, and they sued for federal freedom of speech. Appellate court overturned the ruling. It went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, yes, the American Nazi Party had the right. They have their freedom of speech. They will not be unhinged. So that gave them the momentum. However, the Supreme Court only looked at the larger constitutional aspect of it, not the minutia, not the wheels and cogs, only the bigger picture that they all look at, but not the smaller content, not the fine workings. That's where we have the local minutia working on that one. The catch on this one, Supreme Court never said where, when, and how. Oh, they have the right. You have the right to do this. But the thing that you don't have is all the details. And that is up to Skokie. And Skokie said, on this certain date, in this certain pile over here, in this certain section of town, this is where you're entitled to. No, we're not. No, we're not. We have the right to march through this town and terrorize them. That's what the Supreme Court said we could do. We could terrorize them because we had the freedom of speech. No. You have the right for freedom of speech. The problem is you don't have the right to terrorize the town, but you do have the right to demonstrate against them in this certain section over here. No, we don't. We need to go through this period of town over here. This is what we fought through the Supreme Court. Shall we go back to the Supreme Court again on this one? I don't think I got the money for this one here. But you can't do this to me. Hey, you guys got the constitutional right to do so. You won your case. You won your day in court. Feel lucky. No! We want to go through this part of town. But you're not allowed. And you will be arrested. Why? For terror. Of course, back then it didn't have the domestic terrorism charges like we have these days. Ever since 9/11 happened, we had to get our laws, our federal laws and state laws updated, especially the federal laws, regarding what terrorism meant all along. And unfortunately, they're still trying to hammer that damn shit out. 20 plus years and they still can't get this crap done right. And that's still going through the court systems, I think. Now, listen, I've already had some court cases regarding this one that I hadn't come across yet, and I got to do some research. But in the end, I think they gave up. I mean, they were entitled to go to this one particular location, isolated from everybody, to demonstrate. This is not what they wanted. What they wanted was to go through a town and terrorize people. And they lost it. Using that basis, we have the right to listen. Actually, we have the right to protest anybody. Congressional people, Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, if you notice on the videos, I don't name people left and right unless I've got a specific burr up my ass. I got a burr up my ass. Because constitutionally, these two elected representatives of the government system that is still in chaos and disorder at this point over here. That's another video right there I'm going to be probably doing at this point. Maybe. And it bugs me just like the flies are bugging me. But they had said that their rights for freedom of speech were violated. Yes and no. Under Supreme Court ruling, you got to love judicial review. Marbury versus Madison. The first court case the Supreme Court of the United States ever came across, and it had to deal with judicial review, where the Supreme Court of the United States actually created law without even realizing it. Like that one. When I learned about that one in Political Science 101, I'm like, whoa. That's one thing to understand in academic-wise, but you have to apply the context and the perspective. And then once I got both of them, I'm like, oh, mind blown. So, Greene and Gaetz have the right to protest, even on public state beach. They can spew off their damn garbage just like the American Nazi Party did back in Skokie. The problem with this is the venues that was going to be originally hosting them, the city said, no, we're not going to do that here. Just like Skokie had. The venue said, we'll give you an area, but that's about it. Or basically, we're going to deny you that one. But you can go over to State Beach and do it. We're not going to punish you for that one. Because you are protesting in a public area. You're allowed to do so. You can put up a sign out there saying that I'm protesting against the government for this particular situation. Of course, you're going to be addressing it worse than that. In language that's going to be unacceptable to certain standards that we've already been developing out there. But hey, you're still addressing your grievances against the government, so you're not supposed to have any reprisal against it from a local municipality all the way through the federal, as long as you're demonstrating peacefully. Yeah, if you're being a total asshole about it and saying, I'm going to cause a riot over this damn situation over here, it's a different story altogether. Now you're doing disturbance of peace. Now you're going to have another court case on this thing. And try to do the federal rights situation on yourself. Be my guest. But the right for peaceful protests, you're entitled to it. So I hate to say this, but Green and Gates are going to have their day in court and probably win and lose. They're going to win because they have the right to spew their crap, their lies, their bullshit, their own opinions. What they don't have is the absolute right to do it where and whenever they want to, because it's up to the local municipalities to do the small cogs in the machine, so to speak. So, good luck on that one. Regarding the cogs, the machines of social media, and I've been running into this damn thing constantly. I'm putting up postings in social media regarding this, and I'm challenging the news organizations on this. I think they'll do their damn homework. And this is being addressed over to the news interns, the news directors, and the research departments, and not to mention the legal departments. Why don't they ever do their research before they open up their mouths? And why is this poor schmuck who's going to a community college level at the age of 55, who's not even an academic, doesn't even have any letters, has to challenge this with these schmucks, or actually against these schmucks, for their own damn information they're pumping out there? Now, when it comes down for First Amendment rights, that's the thing I live for. I don't care about the damn Second Amendment. If you guys want to shoot yourself in the foot, be my guest. Just don't shoot me, alright? I don't feel comfortable with bullets ripping into my body. Nor do I feel comfortable with somebody else taking a damn shotgun or a howitzer saying, I have the right to blow someone else's face off. Okay, you've got a right to have a gun. But if you're going to be doing murder, you don't have a right for that one either. So, you're fucked on that one. Yes, language. The problem is the Supreme Court rulings and how they're being interpreted that I don't hear out there. I don't read it online. And I have to pull up something obscure like this. Why don't we hear this from these so-called legal experts out there to educate the public what's going on? Because they don't know, they're dumb or done shit. I hate to say this. I may have to retract that. I may have to retract that entirely. But I'm coming across the mentality. I'm coming across it too many damn times as it is. I understand their concept of trying to understand the freedom of speech, or freedom, period. It's a heavy-duty concept right there. You think you have the absolute freedom, but you don't have the protection for the absolute consequences of that freedom. That's where we have laws. That's where we have rules and boundaries. That's where we have terms and conditions. Also where we have privacy. We also have to deal with corporations that are managing every one of those damn things. That everyone's bitching at about this. Including YouTube, including Google, and Facebook, and everybody else. Why am I the only schmuck against this? Why am I the only educated schmuck out there against this damn thing? Educated because I read a lot of books, I watched a lot of documentaries, information filtering through my damn youthful brain during that time without any context or perspective or perception of the damn thing. Just shove the damn thing in there and hope to God it does something to a person. The educational system of our school systems. Shove a bunch of knowledge in there and hope to God it applies one way or another in their lifetime. That maybe they'll be a productive person. Welcome to the cookie cutter way of education system. Without stimulating a person's understanding of what's going on around or the curiosity, it just doesn't work. That's what I had to deal with all the damn time. But it pops out, and I hear and I see connections. In my adult stage, I had been seeing more and more connections and more context. And every time I keep opening up my damn mouth, I'm a libtard, I'm a liberal. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Only because the other person is afraid to get into another debate or to do their damn research. And they don't want to. They're comfortable in their own ignorant level. And I know it's elitism talk. I'm more educated than they are. I read a lot of books when I was a lot younger. I was reading a lot of books in college a long time ago before I screwed that up 30 plus years ago and had to work my ass off for a living and still learn a lot of things in the process. I learned that the legal process, the legal system is complicated as hell. That our freedoms are taken for granted all the time, and people don't understand most of it. That corporations and companies had been represented. They've been represented as one time as a taxable regulated entity, then no longer. And the effects of it are still biting people in the ass left and right. That includes social media. When a Supreme Court case, as I said before concerning about judicial review, when a Supreme Court case makes a ruling concerning about companies not being treated as corporations but as entities, as individuals, that changed the dynamic with everybody. And this is regarding federal elections, contributions, money going into politicians' pockets. Companies are trying to influence because they want protection one way or another. They want their way. But now they're limited on their financing at this point over here. They're being treated as an individual because individuals are limited in their own financial contributions to the public entities out there. The elected officials. So now, we look at them as individual entities, not governed or regulated. And thank you, Congress, for that one. Citizen United. You've heard it. And it goes in one ear, out the other constantly, because people just don't get it. They don't get it. They don't understand it. But they're not being educated. So why schmucks like me got to tell you about what's going on here? You bitch and you gripe to me about I'm too liberal, I'm too elitism, I'm well above you because I've got college. I read a lot in my youth. I had to. In the public education system, you're supposed to be studying your textbooks left and right, give you a little bit more knowledge, and then when you get out of public education system, you go into the community college level over here, you got more research to do. That drives you crazy. Now you got to understand a little bit more about U.S. politics 101. More and more and more about it. Till my brain went, that's it, enough. Because all the academia didn't matter damn unless I had something to apply it to. I broke down. Somewhere along the line, I broke down, and I didn't do what I was supposed to be doing and contracted with my mother. She gave me two options. Either work my ass full time for a living or get out of the house. 30 fucking years. Yes, I used the F word again. Over 30 years, I worked my ass off until I damn near got killed in a job. Now I go to school. Try to salvage what's left of my brain. But during that time, I was watching and I was learning and observing left and right. And I was asking a lot of questions. And wanting like hell to get back into the academia so I can actually have it applied somehow. Now my chance is here. Late in the 40s, I went back and I committed to college. Taking 2 classes at a time so I don't kill the old damn ticker. Try not to keep up with the stress level, but I'm having too much fun learning a lot of things. I get the background stuff first. You get the history. You get the Western civilization down. Then you get the United States history down. Then you get your state, which is California. Get that down. Then you get the literature. You get that down. You get British literature. Well, you gotta have a basis for English literature anyway, so bell. And you got American literature. Gotta do that stuff. Have to take psychology. Have to take health. Have to take political science classes, at least 3 or 4 of them. You get a basis of a rounded basis of what the hell I'm dealing with here. So I'm trying to take other classes. Mathematics is going to be next, and I'm going to hate that damn thing because me and numbers don't mix. And this is me talking. Okay, do have early in the morning, and I got to go back to bed, I guess. Because my body keeps telling me so. But my brain was hyperactive this morning when I was reading some of those postings I've seen online, on social media. I wanted to challenge these people in a conversation, but also I wanted to challenge them to make them think and research. But they won't do it. They absolutely refuse to do it. Because they won't do it. Why would they? Why should they? They got their own pride and ego at work. Much like mine. And I have to admit it that my own pride, my own ego, my own hubris has been at overtime at this point. That's why I have to keep talking about stuff like this. Because I have to be reminded, I'm not an know-it-all. I'm not Mr. Peabody, if anybody gets the reference there. I'm not a computer. I've just seen too much and I've experienced too damn much, and still trying to figure everything else out these days. Still trying to keep this old noggin working. Because it's the only damn thing I got left that's working right now. And even that, I have a question on myself regarding if my sanity level's still there or not. If you folks have been seeing the other YouTube videos I've had these days, then you understand the reference on that one too. So, I'm going to leave this with you guys. Drop me a line. Put it in the comments. Like the videos. Subscribe. This is what I have to keep telling people now because of the terms and conditions. And that's the thing. Okay, I have to get back in this one here before I end this damn conversation here. When you got onto YouTube, when you got onto Google or whatever app that you're using to see this video on, you went through the terms and conditions, didn't you? Admit it. You clicked on those things. You wanted to use their service, and you clicked on them. And what happened? You're able to use them, right? Then you think you got freedom. You didn't read. You didn't read it at all. It's legal, it's complicated, it's long-winded, and it goes over your head. Mine too. But I have to speed read it. I have to do an Evelyn speed reading course in that damn thing. I'm picking up keywords and phrases in the damn thing to see whether or not it actually works or not. And the gist of it is because I kept saying concerning about social media being treated as an individual and an entity, they are not regulated at all. It's up to Congress. That means you folks, yes, I mean you, me too, we have to goad and gird and herd and prod and poke our elected officials, our so-called elected officials, into action. We'll have to tell these meatballs, and as you've heard me say, meatballs, that they have to do what the electorate has said them to do, which is We want regulation. We want government control over the damn thing. Otherwise, they're going to do whatever they want. And you have no way of saying against it. You agreed to the terms and conditions. Therefore, you're applied under those damn things. So the only way to get out of it is no longer use their services at all, which means you get out of it entirely. But keep this one in mind. They still own your ass. All that private shit that you put on their damn servers, keep that in mind. They got your ass. All those nice little advertisers out there, all those nice little pop-ups over there that you keep paying an arm and a leg for, they own your ass. Every time you do online shopping, they own your ass. Face it, there is no more privacy. There is no protection. Your ass is owned by the corporate. And you can thank Congress for that one. And the Supreme Court of the United States' decision on this. See, this is the challenge about being an American here. This is the challenge because we have to live with laws, rules, and regulations. We have to deal with inconsistencies. We have to deal with just about a lot of stuff here. We have to deal with our own inadequacies. We have to deal with the stuff we keep throwing through Congress, and because of the personalities we have, the pride and egos and the hubris is going on in there of what they want compared to what the public wanted in the first place. And what the public is told what they should want. I'll say that again. What they should want. Welcome to democracy. No one ever reads Aristotle anymore. Shame. Research that one, boys and girls. Then get back to me. Let's have a talk.